"Mama, I just killed a man. Put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead." Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen, 1975. It was a song like no other. It was a song with a different sound. And it was a song where the language of the music and the message mattered. It had 6 sections: an introduction, a ballad, guitar riff, operatic section, hard rock, and a conclusion. There was no chorus, which was unusual back then. It was 5 minutes and 55 seconds long, also unusual back then. "It's too long," they said. "You need to cut it," they said. And Queen did cut the song, but it did not work. They had to convince the producers to release their song in its entirety. "It will either fly or it will die," they said. And fly it did. So what was this song all about? In 1975, I was 14 years old at high school, and my friends and I thought it was pretty cool. No idea what it meant. When asked, Freddie Mercury said it was about relationships, with a bit of rhyming nonsense in the middle. But the language did matter in Bohemian Rhapsody, because it was Freddie Mercury's coming out song. He'd been dealing with his demons for a while. His 6-year relationship with Mary Austin was coming to an end, and he was trying to figure out how he fit into society. So in the song, he kills off the old Freddie to make way for the new. You see, in 1975, the world wasn't quite ready for someone like Freddie. Brian May, John Deacon and Roger Taylor were all kings of the band. And Freddie Mercury, well, he was always the queen. The making of Bohemian Rhapsody was epic. 5 different studios, over 160 overdubs, and the operatic section alone took 70 hours. Now, with Freddie's bravado on stage, off stage, he was quite the opposite. He was very humble and compassionate. And he's been quoted as saying, "Oh, darlings, my art, it's like fish and chip paper. It's gone tomorrow." For a song to reach top of the charts once is amazing. For the same song to reach top of the charts 3 times in 3 different decades is truly astonishing. Let's recap. 1975, when it was first released. 1992, a year after Freddie's death, and the song had been featured in a movie by the name of Wayne's World. And then again in 2018, when the movie of the same name was released. So how is it that a band that was popular in the 70s is now even more popular 50 years later and loved by multiple generations? Live Aid, July 13th, 1985, at 6:41 p.m. at Wembley Stadium, Queen stole the show. Queen turned a fundraising concert into a defining moment, leaving a legacy that is still relevant today. Queen knew the language of their music and message mattered, so they chose 6 of their favourite hits did a miniature play set so they could pack in as much as possible. But not only that, they chose 6 songs that the crowd could sing along to, and this was the difference between Queen and the other cavalcade of 30 bands that day, because Queen made the fans part of the show. As soon as the band bounded onto the stage, Freddie's eyes gleaming, giving us a hint of something brilliant that was about to unfold. They'd whipped up a frenzy before a note had been played. They opened with Bohemian Rhapsody, sections 2 and 3. Brian May's guitar riff transitioning seamlessly into Radio Gaga. The crowd was now totally interactive. Freddie owned the stage, and he invited everyone to sing along with him. "Sing it," he said. "I like it." And they did sing it again and again. Freddie was on fire. He was free on stage and uninhibited. Resolute in his powerhouse pose, he now does his fiercely fabulous and famous "Ayo!" The crowd responding in unison. Over and over, 14 times in 38 seconds, they echoed their idol. 72,000 fans were under his spell. At the end of the 20-minute set, he blows a kiss, waves, does a small jump, turns around, and then shoots his arm out in a strong salute, endearing the crowd that love him and he loves them, right on the last beat of the music. And then he bows to the audience. The timing was perfect. The performance, legendary. The test of time has shown us that the language of their music and message did matter that day, because that performance is now heralded as the greatest live performance of all time, and Freddie Mercury, the greatest frontman ever. 2 lines from Radio Gaga inspired me to write this poem. You made us laugh, you made us cry. You made us feel like we could fly. You faced your fears and sang from the heart, embracing inclusion right from the start. You gave us the courage, don't you see, to speak truth to power, to break free. Boundaries were pushed, beliefs were shattered, because you knew the language of your legacy mattered.